Last year, over 500,000 people left Florida. There's been a wave of headlines lately, like people are fleeing Florida, home insurance is going insane, the hurricanes are getting worse, it is becoming unaffordable, and so many other headlines. And while some of that may be true, I'm here to give you the facts from both sides of the same coin. Welcome back, I'm Ryan Zackos. I was born and raised right here in the Gulf Coast of Florida, and now raising my family here in Lakewood Ranch. I started this real estate firm with my father, who retired from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office after 25 years. And my goal here is to help you make informed, smart, and confident decisions in your relocation journey. So whether you work with me or someone else, I just want to encourage you to find someone that you trust who actually does the business and has your best interest at heart. Also, before we dive in, check out our free guides on our website. We have some amazing guides that you can download for free, as well as area quizzes and other free resources available for you on our website. In the description below, there are links for that. Now let's dive in. In this video, I will go over what are the factors that are driving people away, the reality of the situation, why people are still coming, and why I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. At the end, I will give you the facts that you need to know if you are considering a move here to Florida still. I personally believe that Florida, and especially the Gulf Coast of Florida, is one of the best places to live in the entire United States. But let's dive into the facts so you can see both sides of why people are leaving, but ultimately why people are still coming. All right, first let's start with why people are leaving. I'm going to give you 5 reasons, the top 5 reasons why people are leaving Florida. 1, the insurance costs. We know that Florida is dealing with an insurance crisis, and that insurance costs have most likely doubled depending on where you're at, especially in these coastal areas. Flood insurance has become unaffordable to many here in the coastal cities. 2, hurricanes and natural disasters. We know recently there's been heightened risk and heightened fear regarding hurricanes and the frequency of hurricanes here on the coast of Florida. That is a reason that is driving people away, because they don't want to deal with those hurricane risks and the natural disasters that come from that, like flooding, wind, and all the other things. 3, the home prices, cost of living, taxes, everything that comes from a higher cost of living and home price costs. This has been a contribution to many people leaving the area, as well as they had people that have lived here for years and years have plenty of equity in their home. They've come to the conclusion that Florida is becoming unaffordable, so therefore want to cash out their equity and move that into a state where the cost of living is lower. 4, traffic and overdevelopment. Obviously, with the influx of people has led to traffic and also a lot of new construction. New construction, we'll talk about this in a second, has become very desirable here in Florida, and that new construction has led to development, and some people would argue that it's leading to overdevelopment, and the lack of infrastructure can support that, so it's leading to traffic congestion and crowding here in Florida. And then lastly, the lack of economy or industry here in Florida. So post-COVID, we saw a huge rush of people that could work remote because of the flexibility with COVID. Obviously, as we've gotten further removed from that, there have been a lot of companies that have called people back into the office. So that availability and flexibility of remote work has become less. So if you are in corporate and you are looking to ride that corporate ladder, especially these young professionals, Florida might not be a good option for these young professionals. And that is a perception of why people are moving away from Florida. Now let's talk about the reality. Yes, there have been over 500,000 people that have left Florida in the last year, but the reality is the net migration for Florida is still plus hundreds of thousands. So yes, people are leaving, but yes, there are still more people that are coming to Florida than that are leaving. As for insurance costs is location and home driven. This is the reason why new construction has been such a hot and so high demand here in the state of Florida. Because of new construction, the updated codes being elevated, not being in a flood zone, this leads to the lowest insurance costs out of any of these other homes in the same exact area. So if the homes that were built in the 50s that have cast iron pipe, there's a reality that there's more risk that cast iron could give away over time rather than the PVC of new construction. Same with electrical, same with roofs. Obviously, the older the roof is, it won't be up to code. So insurance companies will charge a very large premium to insure older roofs instead of a newer roof, because those homes will be up to code. They'll have the nail patterns, they'll have the tie downs, they'll have everything that quote unquote hurricane proofs a home, so to speak. So insurance costs are relative regarding if you are on the coast, if you are in a surge risk or a flooding risk or a high wind risk, those insurance costs would be a lot higher than being a little bit inland in a newer home. Also, we just talked about new construction, but new construction has become very desirable. And because everything we just talked about with the new codes, those new codes are, the majority of new construction is going to be out of a flood zone, elevated. So they'll have new everything. And one big thing that people are very cautious of here is the new code makes the builder either provide hurricane shutters or impact rated glass for the home. So that's the only options for new construction. You have to have one or the other, which is a great peace of mind for a lot of buyers in today's world. Now, in regards to the high pricing, the reality is that prices are stabilizing. They did here, especially on the Gulf Coast, almost double post-COVID, but the reality is they are stabilizing. They are coming back down, and it is not bottoming out by any means, because people still have hundreds of thousands of equity in their home if they purchased prior to COVID. So there is great buyer opportunity and deals to be had in new construction as well as resale. I think personally, some of the best value is in the resale, stuff that's closer to the water, not on the water, that is newer construction, but not new construction. I love these type of neighborhoods because you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, the geography, area amenities, a little bit lower insurance, and some great deals to be had on negotiation for those resales. That's a side note, sidebar, but that's if I were a buyer in this market, that's what I would be looking at, or some specific new construction communities that we can talk about and I can help you with potentially here on the Gulf Coast of Florida. So the reality is prices have gone up, but they are coming back down. They are stabilizing a little bit, and there is still some great affordable options that exist here in Florida. Now for the industry and economy piece, Florida actually gained more 25 to 44-year-olds last year than it lost. Also, remote jobs make up over 25% of the high-paying jobs now in the US. So even though there might not be, especially here in the Gulf Coast, tons of industry, unless you're in an urban area like Miami or Tampa or even Jacksonville, some of these urban areas have some great corporate headquarters and some industry. But even if you're not, there's a great chance that there's flexibility in your job. It's just still driving tons of young professionals, and that's why I love this area. It's still driving tons of young professionals to the area because of the remote work opportunity. They don't want to just retire here. They want to enjoy their life here while they're young and while they're raising their family. Now, number 3, I want to talk about why I am staying here, why I personally love it. I was obviously born and raised here, so that is a leading factor, but it's not nostalgic for me by any means. I actually went to school in Virginia. I lived in South America for a couple years. I ventured back here. I've been back here now for 10 plus years on the Gulf Coast of Florida. I've worked in Tampa, St. Pete, grew up in Sarasota, now live in Lakewood Ranch with my family. The reality is I love this area. I didn't realize how good it was until I left. And then I saw how unique and how unique this Gulf Coast culture coast is. The ability to have everything at your fingertips that you'd want and expect in a big city, but still feel like a small city is so unique to me, and that's why I love this area. The beaches are incredible, some of the best in the country. The dining, the restaurants, the entertainment, all the area amenities are spectacular. Again, some of what you would expect in the largest cities in the US are just as good here on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Also, the educational system is excellent in and throughout Florida. Sarasota County is one of the best school zones in the whole entire state. Lakewood Ranch, again, you can't be in Lakewood Ranch and not be in a good school zone. So I live in Lakewood Ranch, I have 2 kids, and that is a great opportunity for us. Also, I love the fact that this area is drawing not only retirees and active older adults, but young professionals and young families. There's this great mix and this great vibrancy that exists in and throughout Sarasota, this area. I love what Lakewood Ranch is doing from a master plan community perspective of that integrating the outdoor lifestyle and the community events and that community feel in basically a city, and as well as Wellham Park. So you have 2 of the largest and fastest growing master plan communities in the United States right here in the Gulf Coast, and for good reason, obviously, with the proximity to Venice, Venice Island, downtown Sarasota, downtown Bradenton, Anna Maria, Siesta, all that stuff, everything you love and want about this Bradenton, Sarasota area. But ultimately, what I love and what I missed about not living here when I didn't live here is the ability to do outdoor sports, outdoor entertainment year-round. Even though it is hot here in the summer, I love the ability to be able to go outside, go kayaking, go paddleboarding, go fishing, go boating, play baseball, whatever it may be. I love doing it outdoors year round. I love that ability, but I also love the natural and nature that surrounds this area with Mayaca State Park and the beaches, Oscar Shear. The park's actually on the Keys, like at Sperling here and Lido and whatever else. So tons of opportunities for outdoor lovers, for trails, for biking. Legacy Trail I love to do with the family. So there's tons of opportunities in the outdoor lifestyle. So I really love that about this area. So who should live here? I think you have to be aware, no matter who you are, you need to be aware of what the tax rate is. Like for Sarasota, Manatee County, look at it 1.25, 1.3% of the purchase price. So be aware of the tax rate. Be aware of CDDs and if they are associated with your tax bill. So if you're purchasing in Lakewood Ranch or in some communities in Welland Park, there may be CDDs that are associated with that tax bill that will drive that tax bill up. Be aware of the HOA dues. A lot of these new construction communities have high HOAs. I mean, there's communities here, even in Lakewood Ranch, that have over $1,000 of community dues a month. So be aware of the HOAs, be aware of the insurance, be aware of the taxes. Having someone that's experienced in your corner can help you navigate these things. And there might be a price point. You might think that you want a $600,000 house, but once you break down the taxes and the insurance and the CDDs and the HOA dues, really it might be a $450,000 house. So whatever that might shake out for you, but you have to be in the know of the true cost and what that monthly expectation and cost is all in from your perspective, from a relocator's perspective. So you have to be aware of whether you're in a flood zone, what's the risk of flooding for your community, for your home, for your area, what is the pace of life that you're looking for that surrounds the community in the area that you're looking for. So there's so many factors and there's so many variables, there's so much subjectivity around it that I was hoping to give you an objective path to the truth here in this video. If you want help in that subjectivity matter, I'm here for you as well in that. As again, I was born and raised here, so I know this Gulf Coast better than anyone. So check out our relocation guide, check out the website, reach out via call, text, email. I'm more than happy to help whoever I can. I would hope to be a resource for you in this relocation journey.